thanks for listening. We're working hard at US Squash to support the community during this time and to be ready to get people back on court. I'm going to be sharing conversations with key leaders of the organization so they can share with you how they're handling this crisis and preparing for the future. So I'm looking forward to talking to our Vice President of Programs and Events, Kim Clearkin. So Kim, welcome. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Kevin. Looking forward to sharing with the community what it is we're doing in this uncharted territory.
Before we get to some of the specifics, just tell us where you are and how you're handling things.
Well, I am at home in my house in Connecticut, stone's throw from Long Island Sound, which I really appreciate now because I can walk my dog along the beach every day. I'm allowed to do that, which is great. My dog Sam thinks he's died and gone to heaven. I'm never home, as I think most people know, and now I am all the time. So he is beyond happy with that. And I'm here with my daughter Kira, my oldest daughter. She's here working with. She's working from home as well. My youngest daughter's still in California, and we can using Zoom a lot these days.
Yeah, as we all are. So tell us a little bit about what you were doing in March and how things changed as this coronavirus descended on the country.
Yeah, sure. In March, beginning of March, we just come off several weeks of national championships, high school nationals, middle school nationals, JCTs. We were ready to launch into the next tranche of national championships with the junior nationals, silvers, etc. And then we had to pivot majorly to now, instead of preparing to hold the event, but to cancel those events. So we then had to just go through communicating with tournament directors, facilities, just to then make sure that people knew that a decision had been made to not go ahead with those at this time. So a lot of coordination going on at that point.
Yeah, I think it was a big scramble for us, I know, and for a lot of organizations out there, a lot of uncertainty. Now that we're sort of through that part, how have you been handling this crisis on an interim basis while there is no organized play going on?
Right, yeah, so we're all very keen to go back to that place. So myself and the team have been thinking about how that restart process might look, when it might happen. Of course, it's very difficult because there's so many unknowns, so much uncertainty, but we're looking at different options, looking at how tournaments could restart. Would it be by region? How would the rankings work? How will they restart? That's very important to our junior community. How will leagues start? So it's very nuanced. We need to make sure that we get that right, probably state by state, I would say, but we're waiting to see what the governments and local governments say. We're also looking to facilities and trying to help them, providing them guidance with how they can reopen. Just trying to help where we can and provide resources to people, so to help them reopen and restart the game.
It's a lot of brainstorming, a lot of planning, and a lot of iterative work, it sounds like.
Right.
And that's definitely appreciated. Your whole team is usually on the road around this time, wrapping up the season, as are a lot of junior families. What else beyond the preparation for relaunch have you and your team been focused on?
Yeah, that's right. We are usually away, usually living in a hotel. So it's quite different to be at home, not traveling. But there's plenty of stuff for us to do. We always say to you, I remember a few years ago saying, like, we need to do all this other stuff, Kevin. We never get time to do it. Well, now we have that time. So we're trying to use it wisely and productively. We often get a lot of questions from the community or from new players saying, how do I start squash? What are these ranking systems? What tournament should I play? How does this registration system work? So we're trying to create better resources for people who are beginning, lowering the barrier for them to start. We are also looking to look at some best practices for programs and facilities. So, again, people will say, we want to create a club. We would like to grow our program. How should we staff our program? How do we maximize revenue, etc. So we're looking at those areas and trying to provide better resources for our community out there, so we can help them grow the game in whichever way it is that they're trying to do it. Another important aspect we're looking at is our officiating program. We know that refereeing is it's a big issue. It's something that we want to improve in general through all levels, whether it's the beginner refereeing, our 10-year-old, or even if it's our pro as well. So we're revamping the referee tests. We're providing more online resources. And I hope many of you have seen Call of the Week as well, to try to help educate everybody on what it is the referees are trying to do. So there's definitely lots going on. We're definitely very busy still.
It sounds like not a lot of idle time. I mean, certainly we've been growing at a pretty fast clip over the last several years, and building those on-ramps to new players, being able to frame the issues for those interested in developing new facilities and programs, and having good online resources. I know we're going to be rolling out a new website next month in May, and officiating is something that we know we can all continue to improve on in supporting people. So it sounds like actually a pretty busy time, and when we're getting back to activity, all of that will really bear a lot of fruit. So that's fantastic. Thanks, Kim, for digging in. And any other final comments you want to share before we sign off?
Well, I know we're all really looking forward to getting back on court. I really miss the interaction with the community. We're usually on the phone a lot with our members and our players, fielding a lot of questions, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do that again. I have to say, I miss that. Absolutely.
As we all are, it's such an essential part of our lives, not just our careers, but our personal lives. We're also involved in squash, and I also look forward to actually seeing you rather than having to do it the video conference. Thanks so much, Kim. Appreciate it.
All right.